He has to let them catch their breath. After another 3 days, he broke the second flag, which was a fake, meaning that he had 4 more to go. He spent another 5 days for the third flag, which was a fake. It took him 7 days to get to the 4th one, which was also a fake. So he died again. There are only 2 left, and he can only guess. But the real one is most likely the one furthest from the battle. Now, he orders everyone well, and even makes Rem follow him, who asks if he's out of his mind. Enkrid knows that the flag is far away, so he can't get exhausted before getting to it. He lets Rem handle the enemies in the front, as he slides past them. Even if unarmored, Rem can handle them pretty well. He has spent an entire year in this today, but now he will end it, as the fog will disappear, and they will win. Suddenly his sword is deflected by Mitch, who notes that God listened to him. He really prayed that he would get the chance to kill him with his hands. Enkrid has forgotten this face after so long, and asks Mitch who he is. He cannot believe that he forgot about him when only a few days have passed. But time doesn't work like that for Enkrid. Enkrid once again asks who he is, which Mitch is annoyed by, but he will remember once he feels his cold blade in his chest. Enkrid decisively dodges the incoming blade, and with his new footing, performs an attack that forces Mitch to back away suddenly. He is surprised, as this doesn't seem like the same person he saw before. He's gotten better with the blade, much better. However, he cannot believe this guy is trying to catch him with a single step. Enkrid doesn't stop there and moves forward again, this time clashing blades with Mitch, who is amazed by his mastered basics and sword technique. Combined with how he deflects attacks, he's a force to be reckoned with. He pushes Enkrid back, who deflects his blade, making Mitch think that he must focus all of his senses on this battle. If he gets distracted for a single moment, he will die. He must pour himself into the blade. The flag shall be forgotten, the outcome of the battle, even the sword techniques he has learned so far. Everything around him fades, leaving only the cold steel of the sword. With this amount of dedication, Mitch gains the advantage by deflecting Enkrid's blade, allowing him to impale Enkrid through the chest, ending the fight right there and then. Now, Enkrid remembers him. He was the guy who blocked the flagpole in the tall grass region. Mitch introduces himself as the Greyhound Squad platoon commander, and Enkrid does the same. He's the now Lilia Kingdom's squad commander. The enemies gather around him, as Mitch says that this guy's specialty is hiding, but the others consider him quite wistful. When Mitch looks at Enkrid to check, he sees that he has a smile on his face. This is because Enkrid realized something. It's not the concentration that comes from the fear of dying that is necessary. What he always needed was a good rival, an opponent who would force him to use everything and fight him with all he's got. Mitch has no time for crazy bastards, and pulls his blade out, ending this today. The next today, Ragna tells him concentration on a single point is similar to the sensation he feels as he's dying, which Enkrid kind of listens to, making Ragna wonder if he's given up on his training. Rem as usual calls them to battle, which makes Enkrid immediately radiate energy and walk away, with Ragna seeing this energy for himself. Because of it, he thinks that he should go a little harder during the warm-up today. The battle continues as per usual, with Enkrid saving lives by telling everyone to duck and shield, just as the arrows come flying through. He doesn't stop there, however, as he tells Rem to follow, and before he can ask if he's insane, Ragna says that he's coming with, making Rem ask if he got an arrow to the head. Ragna tells him to move forward if he doesn't want one right now, and as Enkrid inches himself further and further away, both guys butcher the enemy in front of them, trying to make way. Enkrid takes the same path as he did before, and meets Mitch just like before, only this time he recognizes him and says that it's so very nice to see him. Mitch is surprised that he came specifically looking for him, but Enkrid says that he shouldn't be. He came because he fell in love the first time they fought. Mitch notes that this is the first time someone has come looking for him specifically, with Enkrid wondering if he's upset, but Mitch prepares his blade and denies such things. Enkrid tries to enter the same state of concentration as Mitch, where he can only feel the blade, but he is once again defeated with a blade through the chest. Mitch notes that he lost pretty easily. Did he really think he would win with only those skills? As Enkrid slowly dies, he thinks that his attitude is all wrong. What he's trying to achieve cannot be intentional. He must be absorbed into the fight naturally. He repeats today, and he is defeated. He does it again and again. He will continue to do it until he has grasped the feeling. The 18th time, he can see the blade coming his way. The 28th time, he can enter a state of concentration at a moment's notice. And the 48th time, he reaches a revelation. When Ragna tries to teach him that feeling, Enkrid finally sees the blade for what it truly is, and he becomes lost in its beauty, allowing him to deflect Ragna's attack with ease. He asks how he was able to assimilate what he told him so easily, but Enkrid isn't even hearing him now. Pure concentration means completely controlling both body and sword. His power and technique have developed so much that he cannot compare them to his past self. Ragna asks where he's going, and Enkrid notes he's just going to meet the platoon commander. It's time for him to overcome today. When he reaches the ferry commander, She asks what he wants. So Enkrid reveals that he remembers seeing spells during their recon mission. The Aspen soldiers were calling a creepy old man the spellcaster. The ferry commander is intrigued and asks him to elaborate further. Enkrid told her everything that they might need to win this battle. So when the fog comes now, the soldiers are prepared to block the arrows, and Enkrid's team charges in without words. He has put his hope in the commander's competence, as he has a mission to overcome this next obstacle. Enkrid immediately says that he recognizes him. He wanted to fight him from the very beginning, and today, he shall defeat him no matter what. Enkrid lets out a powerful strike, but Mitch sidesteps and rushes in with a slash, which Enkrid expertly deflects. Mitch knows that he's in a precarious situation, and can barely block Enkrid's next strike, and they continue clashing blades until they arrive at a standstill. Mitch feels obligated to ask, was he hiding his skills all of this time? Enkrid notes that it appears to be so, making Mitch ask for his name, which Enkrid tells him. In that moment, Mitch deflects his blade and says that he will remember his name, but Enkrid notes that there won't be a need for that. He will make sure he always knows it. As Mitch raises his sword high into the air, Enkrid becomes concentrated on the blade, and combined with the fact that he has all of his weight on his right foot, he predicts that he will slash diagonally, and he's right. The techniques he has learned from all the todays, the battle experience he gained through these repetitions, it all culminates here. As Mitch strikes, Enkrid does the same, and they both nip each other's necks. But Enkrid doesn't stop and makes his slash go towards Mitch's neck, who can barely dodge. He was sure that he would kill him in a few movements, but he's actually struggling against this bastard, and that's something he will not accept. Since his flowing sword techniques are more suited for parrying, he needs to attack properly, so he will use the best technique he has. He hilts himself into the ground and rushes the blade from the bottom, which will create a huge arc. That's why this technique is called the wheel cut. Enkrid already knows of this ultimate technique. He has experienced it firsthand countless times, and he was always struck down because of it. But this time, he is ready and parries the attack perfectly. Mitch is shocked to say the least, even if his face does not show it. The Hurriers, which Mitch belongs to, are one of the three main houses that reign over the Aspen Kingdom, and House Hurrier represents brute force, meaning that they will recruit anyone who shows talent for the sword. Mitch was also recruited from a regional house, and after adopting the Hurrier name, he proved himself with his skills, and fought off 2 adult knights at the age of 15. He won against a champion swordsman at the age of 18, and by 22, he was the strongest champion of the entire city. He then went on to be among the top 3 best fighters in the Greyhounds, through sheer skill alone. Only few could ever match his talents, and even those didn't want to try their luck. As he saw others training, he wondered to himself, why do they do so until failure? Why must they swing a sword until their hands bleed? He did not see any point in training, as his entire body was pure skill, and this was the mistake that got him here. Without any way to swing his body in any way but backwards, Encrid easily punctures his chest and pulls his blade out, making Mitch start to bleed heavily. He damns himself for underestimating him and says that he's not as good as him when it comes to strength or sword technique, which Encrid confirms. But yet, he was still the one who won. Mitch can't refute that, and in his last moments, he can only regret his past of complacency. Who knows what he would have become if he trained? The moment Encrid's sword reaches his neck, Greyhound jumps in to save Mitch, who is still bleeding heavily, but he is swiftly escorted out of the battlefield by one of the men. Greyhound notes that he did not expect a single man to cause this much of a mess, but as punishment, he will not have an easy death. Encrid already knew that, since he's surrounded by enemies, but he is also not deterred. This only means that breaking the flag and finding an exit is the next wall that he must overcome. Greyhound tells everyone to fire, and Encrid is prepared for the worst. He charges in through the arrows as he cannot avoid all of the attacks, so he will take them while continuing to advance. Greyhound isn't there just for decoration, however, and strikes Encrid, who can feel how heavy his strikes are just from this. So to win this fight, he will have to die numerous times, but the objective for now is to destroy the flag and get out of here. With that in mind, he throws a knife at the flag, as even if slightly damaged, the spell will stop working. Greyhound sees what he's trying to do and slashes at him, but Encrid rolls away and throws another dagger, this time hitting it expertly. In the fog, the fairy commando holds her ground, yet her mind is set on the fact that she asked command for more troops, yet she didn't receive anything. This kingdom is as rotten as ever. They sent the weakest men to command the lines. At this rate, slowly, they will be wiped out. That's when the fog dissipates, allowing her to move more swiftly than ever and take care of the enemy with ease. She recognizes this as a chance to turn the tide of battle, so she rallies everyone to attack, which works, as they all scream and shout while charging. With the fog gone, they have a better chance, but who destroyed that spell? Perhaps it was the one who told her about it, Encrid. All bloodied and spent, Enkrid knows that he messed up, as he thought that he would run into his team after the fog went, but he cannot spot a single friendly, and even he has a limit. Rem is taking care of hundreds of men, but he is actually aiming for the spellcaster, as he wants to have his head. At the same time, Ragna got completely lost, and is aiming his sword at one of the commanders, only now realizing the mistake he made. The enemies mock Encrid, as he's trudging along like a dog, and he will die like one too. Just before one of them strikes him down, the puma from the grass fields attacks the soldier, and just as the enemy is about to unleash a flurry of arrows, it cuts all of their crossbows to make them useless. The puma seems adamant in protecting Encrid, but he tells it to leave, as the man in front of them is quite special. Greyhound has had enough of this, and is ready to strike him down, but that's when Vengeance shows up, and tells Encrid to rest easy, as he's about to show him what a real man looks like. He lunges at Greyhound, who immediately deflects his blade and throws him on his ass, making Vengeance fold and order his men to shoot at him. Greyhound isn't fazed at all by the arrows and charges forward, allowing the puma to charge in from behind with its claws bare. Greyhound is caught by surprise, but he manages to hit the beast with the hilt of his blade, rendering it unconscious. The next strike is aimed at Encrid, who can still see the blade, but since he cannot parry his attack with the strength he has now, it means that he will have to use a technique Mitch liked, and let the blade flow. He does the exact same thing, which surprises Greyhound, as he recognizes Mitch's technique that he just used, and Encrid is more ecstatic than ever. Vengeance surprisingly rushes in again, but Greyhound does not counterattack, as he sees the army of men coming in his direction. He reluctantly backs away, but not before telling Encrid that he will not soon forget his dirty face, and promises to take him down one day. He orders his men to retreat, allowing Vengeance to focus on Encrid's well-being and get him out of there. But Encrid brings the puma along too, even if his strength is waning second by second. Vengeance orders everyone to retreat, and Encrid slowly loses consciousness, the tiredness and bleeding catching up to him in the end. In his dreams, he sees the boatman once again. Did he accomplish his objective again? He is truly a persistent bastard, but what drives him so? In the end, even if in this state, Encrid has survived another today. Encrid slowly wakes up as the others around him talk about his state. Some wonder how he managed to do it. Others know that he went off without any warning, and one of them prays for his swift recovery. As Encrid gets a feel of his hands, he feels something fuzzy, and when he looks, the puma who saved him is now cuddling with him. Rem asks if he's finally awake. They all thought he was going to bite the dust. Encrid slowly gets up and asks what's going on, and Jackson gets up to hand him some water, while explaining that he lost quite a bit of blood. Crace goes on to say that thankfully, the medic healed him enough so that there won't be any lasting effects. The goddess of luck must truly be on his side. As Encrid looks at the puma he just dropped a little water on, he notes that he must have passed out during their retreat out of the battlefield. Everyone slowly leaves since they saw their commander awake, and Encrid is happy to see that he survived another day. Rem, however, does not leave, and stares at Encrid, who thinks that he's interested in the puma, so he asks if he would like to pet him or something. Rem doesn't care about that beast. What he wants to know is how did he know that the fog was a spell? Encrid is conflicted, as Rem will not believe him if he tells him about his ability. So must he really lie to him? He doesn't want to. Rem has been a faithful friend, so he would like to return that trust in kind. He explains that in the past, he was friends with a settler, and he suspected it was so based on what he heard from that guy. Encrid thinks that this excuse is perfect, since he really did hear it from a settler, that being Rem. He gets up, as it's fine if he doesn't want to tell him, but he shouldn't get into spells that much. As he leaves, Encrid questions him about what he was doing during the fight, with Rem telling him that he was going to have a chat with the bastard who set up the flags, but he really didn't like his face, so he sent his head flying. While Encrid thinks of Rem doing that, Crace tries to bribe the puma with some beef jerky, but it's having none of it and it snaps at him. Encrid tells him to be careful. This little guy might just rip him to shreds if pushed enough. Crace doesn't care, as he really wants that 10,000 krona. He heard from that Henry guy that because this beast has blue eyes, it's a lake puma, and they hold the energy of the land inside of them. Each of its claws is supposed to be worth about 10,000 krona, and they keep growing new ones. Encrid is pretty amazed. A single bronze coin is worth 1 krona, so 10,000 must be like a gold coin, more than what he has paid, that's for sure. After he passed out, they dominated the battlefield, but the battle itself came to a standstill, and both sides chose to retreat. Since then, nobody has made a move. They are all recovering from their wounds after all. While his mind is racing, he wonders if the parry he did back then would succeed if he tried doing it again. Perhaps he will never know. Jackson comes around later and tells him to stop stretching. He will not heal if he keeps his muscles moving. Encrid feels that he's not overdoing it, so he can move at least a little. Ragna agrees with Jackson. The most he can do now is stretch like that. He should get some sleep and recover faster. Rem comes around and bumps into Ragna, asking if he's trying to spread his laziness to their commander too. And by the way, Standing in the walkway like that is a dumbass move. Ragna immediately goes to fetch his sword so that they can have a fight, which prompts Enkrid to ask something about it. He managed to actually use a technique he had never practiced before. He only saw, is that a normal thing? Rem feels that it is. If he was using the heart of the beast, he could actually sense what the enemy was doing, so he would be able to understand how they swing their sword and how much strength to use. Ragna also agrees that it should be easier since he learned the basics. He also succeeded with single-point concentration, so he must have seen more than in the past. However, he actually got pretty lucky, as at his level, something like that will succeed after 100 real battles. Encrid now understands. The day that has just passed wasn't a single day for him. It was hundreds of days, days of overwhelming struggle. He got stronger through his hard work and determination, not just through memorizing patterns as such. No matter how much talent he has, he can get stronger, and he will. While Ragna and Rem butt heads, Encrid asks them both for a duel. Rem notes that most people call him a madman, but that title should be given to him, while Ragna asks how he hopes to duel in his condition. Suddenly, the ferry commander appears, who says that duels are not to be participated in while he's in such a bad condition. She also asks if he was the person who broke the spell. Encrid knew that someone would come and ask him that question, but why the company chief commander? He says that it was indeed him. He saw it while on patrol and also knew a little about it from previous encounters. The ferry commander is surprised. There were 5 decoys. How did he find the real one? Encrid notes that he just guessed, which makes the ferry commander stare at him for a bit, but she turns away and takes that as the truth. Encrid asks if this is all she came to ask, but the ferry commander explains that she also came to see his face, as it seems that fate has brought them together. Encrid has no clue what she's talking about, but Rem and Ragna think that they are together or something, with Ragna surprised that he has those types of skills. Encrid tells them that it's not like that, but Krace also comes around and notes that he's the perfect guy to start a host bar with. He will make the terms favorable for him. Encrid tells him to shut up, but he also wonders why she said that. She's their boss, so this is really uncomfortable. Krace also has some news for him. A squire from the Night Order has arrived. Encrid is surprised. Someone from the Scarlet Cloak Night Order is here. The battalion he is a part of is named the Cypress Division, which was named after a knight, and that Cypress is a part of the Scarlet Cloak Night Order. The knights are people who are extremely skilled, which is true even across the entire continent. That is why a Night Order has a lot more people besides the main knights. They have squires, servants, and students. Once a squire has proved himself to his knight, they become a proto-knight, and far above that, there are the knights, who have surpassed their human limit. Squires do not fight often without their knight, so this squire is probably about to become a proto-knight. Suddenly, the bells ring, and everyone gets ready for battle. Krace thinks that they were probably waiting for this guy if they are heading to battle right now, and Rem tells Encrid to get some rest. He really does need it. Encrid is not bothered by his wounds. He wants to see that guy in action. He wants to compare himself to him. Rem sees the glow in his eyes, and tells him to come with if he wants to see him so much. It's not like they are going to do much anyway. Everyone gets lined up for battle shortly afterwards, but Encrid is most excited. He will finally see a small piece of his dream. He can finally see what it takes to become a knight. The squire walks alone to their enemies, who immediately get into position to fire their arrows at him, but he does not flinch even once, and walks steadfast. The enemy commander tells them to fire, making hundreds if not thousands of arrows fly towards the squire, who waits until they are close enough. After that, he crouches down and gathers wind at his feet, which Ragna recognizes as determination. After charging enough, the squire sprints through the arrows and arrives directly at the enemy's front line. It's filled with shields and spears, but the squire is not stopped. As with one strike, he takes out that entire front line and sends his enemies flying. Encrid is astounded, but also frightened. Even the commander doesn't know what to say, but he has nothing to say, as the squire starts cleaving through them left and right without mercy. Everyone starts to retreat at the sight. They will not needlessly sacrifice their lives, but the commander tells them to hold the line before his head gets chopped off cleanly. As the squire stands on the head of the commander's horse, everyone has different opinions about him. Rem is not surprised by how skilled he is. They are called war specialists for a reason, right? Ragna feels that he should be able to at least hold the line against him, and Jackson notices that the enemy had at least 5 chances to stop his advance. The enemy commander was a fool. Krace is only glad that this will be over without them needing to do much, but Encrid starts to ponder heavily. Is he using the righteous sword? But that's not it. It has elements of the heavy and swift sword in it too. The righteous sword is a just and intricate technique that lures the opponent into the user's moves. The heavy sword is, like the name suggests, a heavy sword technique. It uses strength to cut through everything and dominate no matter what. The confounding sword is the most confusing technique, as it tricks the opponent and allows easy ambushes. The Valen sword is a subsidiary of this technique. The swift sword is the fastest sword technique. It overwhelms the opponent with sheer speed. The flowing sword is a soft and gentle technique. It parries the opponent's attacks and retaliation in kind. Enkrid can see both heavy and swift swords in that squire. They are both vying for control. He breathes in and regathers his thoughts. Even if different in character, all techniques started from a single source. If one is to understand the resemblance between all 5 techniques and wield the sword like it is a living, breathing object, perhaps then they will be able to do this too. He closes his eyes as the army charges in, with Rem and Ragna noticing that their squad leader is meditating. Rem smiles and tells them that the squad leader is about to overcome something, so they will allow nobody to disturb him. Encrid knows that nothing changed, despite his understanding. Understanding is nothing. It is only a wall, something that exists only to show how much he has to climb. Soldiers fly past him into battle, but Encrid does not move. Instead, he climbs the obstacle inside of his mind, and he will do it to the very top. As the screaming and wailing of the fight rages on, Encrid continues to climb. As their soldiers continue to push the enemy, Encrid continues to climb. As the soldiers scream out in victory, Encrid has finished his climb. He knows that this war is coming to an end, so the following seasons will be quite busy. In the Principality of Aspen, which is controlled by the 3 main families, Aspen, the sovereign, damns the empire, as they broke the gentleman's agreement to not bring in any knights. Grey Wolf, who is actually named Hurrier the Almighty, and Atkins, the administrator, are also present. Atkins explains that they used the frog general they sent out as an excuse, and since the frogs do require a nightly response, they have no excuse either. Aspen damns that bastard of a frog who did as he pleased, but Atkins notes that it was to be expected. Frogs generally do what they want, no matter their excuse or motive. However, this would have not happened if the spell they wasted resources on had succeeded. Aspen becomes enraged at the Greyhounds. They must pay for this insubordination. Hurrier knows that this will not end well for them at all. After such a lengthy war, the Aspen forces headed back, and so did Encrid and his team. They all went to Border Guard, which is the kingdom's remote fortress city. Because it's close to Aspen, this place is heavily militarized, with 1 in 5 people being a soldier. A ceremony is held, praising everyone for their will and determination, which has brought them this victory. They will also reward the common soldiers who have proven themselves most useful, be it on the battlefield or out. The first one to be called out is Encrid, as he destroyed that foul spell of the Aspens, so he shall be rewarded. Everyone starts mocking him as he climbs the podium. They call him weak, and think that he did something with the commander to get this reward. Suddenly, someone from behind the trash talkers tells them to shut up, with another familiar face telling them to not talk down to that person. To them, Encrid is much more than that. He is a true man. Encrid receives quite a hefty sum of cash, which makes Crace immediately ask what he's going to do with it. Perhaps he will spend it on drinks, or women, or perhaps both. Encrid notes that he wants a good store. More specifically, the best blacksmith in the entire city. Crace walks with him all the way to the smithy, wondering how he can spend all that money on a damn sword. If he doesn't like the standard issue one, he can just pick one out from the battlefield and be done with it. He does that too, and they work fine. Encrid does not mind him. To become a knight, he needs to prove himself. More specifically, he must prove his skills. He is going to take the soldier promotion exam, as it's about time he ditches the life of a lowly foot soldier. Crace thought he wasn't interested in things like promotions, but Encrid feels that he can't stay in one place forever. Crace understands, but they must get stuff set up first. Norilla has a soldier ranking system in order to increase morale, with those stronger than the scale being considered special grades. A person is also treated differently based on their rank. To be promoted, one must have a duel with 3 of the soldiers in the rank that he is after, and win. For the soldiers that are just spectating, this is just a fun sport involving betting, which naturally Crace is the expert of, and incentivizes everyone to come and bet. The first soldier Encrid has to face is arrogant. What is a low-rank scum like him trying to achieve by going for medium rank? He won an award based on the squad's actions, and now he thinks he's some hotshot. Encrid knows this guy. Even if arrogant, he is skilled and hails from a famous mercenary group. The betting box Crace has is filled with bets on the other side, while there is only a single bronze coin on Encrid's side, prompting the gamblers to wonder who put that coin there. Crace notes that they won't know until the results come in, so they should sit down as the match is starting. Encrid only got stronger by dying over and over, but in this fight, there is no risk of death, so he only has one shot. He steels himself. He will look ahead and not lose focus, which is a pathetic skill, but it's the limit of his hard work. He knows that in the past, he wouldn't have stood a chance against someone like this, but he will not be conceited either. He will fight like his life is on the line. the arrogant full charge in with his sword aimed high. Encrid thinking that he will try to do the parry he learned in the previous battle. Perhaps he can win if he does it. Surprisingly enough, however, Encrid blows the sword out of the arrogant bastard's hands away in a single stroke, who is more scared about his fingers. Encrid doesn't know what to say, so he just ends the fight by hitting the bastard with the butt of his sword. He wonders why this guy is so weak, and a gambler is mad at Krace, as he probably was the one who bet on his commander, right? Because he knew how strong he was? Krace actually is shocked too. He only put that bronze coin in there because he took pity on him. Encrid wonders if that guy just let his guard down, but even if he did, the duel ended too quickly. He shouldn't be so weak if he's a medium rank. He doesn't have time to think about that, as his next opponent arrives, who tells him to not get cocky just because he won one duel. Encrid knows this guy too. He is heavy infantry, the strongest in their battalion. The heavy soldier starts by trying to distract Encrid by waving the tip of his spear around, but then he only thrusts forward, allowing Encrid to just cut the tip of his spear, rendering it useless. He thinks that this is just a trick. This guy must have something else lined up. Judging by his face, however, it seems that this really is just it. Encrid kicks him in the gut, ending another fight. Everyone is shocked that he won 2 fights in a row, and Krace calls forward the next challenger. Who wants to duel him? Nobody wants to budge. Not even those who trash talk to him. Andrew thinks that he can win since he trained with Mac every night since they last met. But Mac tells him to not go, as he's gotten too strong. Not even he has a chance to beat him. With that information, Andrew sits down and observes the situation. Suddenly, someone pushes the main trash talk to go. That's someone being Rem, who has heard everything he said up until now. To prove he's not scared, the trash talker agrees to go, even though he's sweating bullets. Encrid only felt struggle up until now, so that is why he did not notice. That stabbing bastard in the first today he suffered through, and the assassin in the next one. Combined with Mitch Hurrier, and even the squad members he trains with daily, he just had it rough until now. He knows that his old teacher told him to not underestimate his opponent, which he felt was irrelevant to him, as he never thought there would be a time when he could look down on someone. The trash talker asks what's with his face, but Encrid is only happy. He has become strong enough to dominate his opponent. He charges in with his sword, hitting heavily. In Norilla, strength is the most respected thing, so using this bastard, he will prove to everyone he is strong. He breaks his sword after a few hits, and then stops before slashing him apart, proving himself for good. The trash talker pissed himself too, and now everyone recognizes Encrid as the Spellbreaker. He really destroyed that flag. Suddenly, Andrew gets up and starts chanting Spellbreaker, while also forcing the others to do it. The eyes that were looking down upon him now admire his strength, as they all chant his title, the Spellbreaker. Krace congratulates him, as now he's medium rank, but Encrid feels it's too early for any celebration. He has to get to high rank first. Krace is surprised that he's still going to climb, and that's when someone stands up, noting how interesting he is. The others around him notice the eagle patch on his clothes. He's a border guard, the ones directly serving the crown. He is called the Border Butcher, and he earned that title too. He approaches Encrid and notes that he would like to duel him too, just a friendly one, nothing too special. While everyone is watching, Rem knows that this is going to be difficult for Encrid, who knows that the border guard is equal in strength to Aspen's greyhounds, meaning that he might actually be stronger than Hurrier. However, this also makes him wonder what will even happen if he fights someone without the risk of dying. Will he improve? He invites the man to come, who is amazed that he's not more fearful about going against someone from the Special Forces. After watching his fights, he's far more interesting than expected. The low-ranked soldiers cheer Encrid on now, repeating the same thing. The true kings of battle are in the infantry. The man thinks they are a bunch of idiots, as the border guard is infantry too, and cockiness like this is not healthy. He must humble them right now, by using the gentleman in front of him. Even if his attack is swift, Encrid can see his blade, and manages to deflect it. The man is surprised to see such concentration from a foot soldier, and grabs him, thinking that with this, he has nothing left to do. Encrid, however, grabs his hand, allowing him to rush with his sword from above. The man knows that he will meet death if he's hit by something like that, so he finds the chance to dodge the attack, and retaliate in kind with a deadly strike of his own. Unfortunately for him, Encrid is prepared, so he catches the tip of his blade and kicks him in the gut. He has let go of his sword for this, making the man rush in for a final encounter. Encrid pulls out a small blade and strikes at the same angle. Victory is inches away for them both, but that's when the ferry commander appears, and with one swift strike, blocks their attacks. Encrid sees that his crew was already behind the man. They aren't just about to let their leader die after all. Rem notes that he's quite the lucky bastard, but the man says that this is only a duel. If they get excited like this again, they will have to be punished. Encrid cares more about what happened in the fight, as he lost sight of his movements, and almost lost. but who knows what would have happened if they fought until death. The man sheaths his sword and tells Encrid that he did not expect much, but he cannot just not recognize his strength now. He is called Torres, and he is the platoon commander of the border guards. Encrid also introduces himself as he accepts the handshake, but every spectator is shocked, as the platoon commanders are special rank soldiers, meaning that Encrid is at least a high rank soldier. Everyone celebrates this fight, but Encrid really pays them no mind, which Torres likes. He has a feeling that they will see each other again soon enough, so this is goodbye for now. With this, Encrid feels one step closer towards his real objective. That same day, Graham, the first company commander of the heavy armored infantry, invites him to their company. This is the third time Encrid has been invited. First it was the second, and then the third company, perhaps because he broke that spell. Graham explains that his company is an important element of this battalion. He knows that this offer is pretty important, right? Encrid knows that he will be among the elites as soon as he accepts, but he refuses, which makes Graham ask if it's about the fourth company commander. He will talk with him if need be. Encrid tells him that it's not that, and since he has such a sincere face, he will not press him any further. Encrid suggests that he send Rem his way, but nobody wants that crazy bastard in their team. Thanks to him, they survived the last battle, so he should keep at it. Krace is amazed that he's getting so many offers. Should he begin packing his bags or something? Encrid tells him that he's not going, but this only makes Krace wonder why he's rejecting every offer. Right now he will get treated well, no matter where he goes. Before Encrid can answer, Torres comes inside, wanting to ask something important of Encrid. He should come to the border guards. Encrid knows that this is an amazing offer, even better than the first company, and Rem feels the same. He would be a fool if he would reject this offer. Torres has realized as soon as they fought that he yearns for a tougher fight. If he comes with them, he will make him train and challenge his body to its limits. His coming to the border guards means that he will realize his full potential. Everyone on his team is resigned to their fate, and so Encrid opens his mouth. If he's talking about a hellish place to train in, there's no other place like this. Encrid does not simply want to reach his full potential. He wants to overcome it, little by little. The seasons change, which is unfortunate for Rem, who, despite being from a tribe, hates the cold so much he wishes he could fight it. He tells Encrid to get him some hot stones immediately, but this only makes him think of how useless this guy is while not in battle. Auden tries to get him to warm up his body by moving and training, but Rem refuses to get rid of his blankie, making Auden ask Encrid if he would like to train, as he will surely thaw his frozen muscles. Encrid excuses himself, as he's on patrol duty right now, so he gets out of the cabin, but not before Rem screams at him to get some hot stones. Encrid is also surprised by how the season changed. At first it got a little chilly, but now it's fully winter. He goes to a populated area, where he meets with the other guards to patrol, a thing they do because of the lack of fighting. The two introduce themselves from left to right. They are Jack and Bo. Today they will be working as a team. Encrid feels something peculiar about these people, like he has heard their names before, but he lets it go for now. Jack feels honored to be on duty with the Spellbreaker, and Bo heard that he got promoted really quickly. To be able to go from the lowest to one of the higher ranks is amazing, but Encrid says that he only got lucky. Jack wants to see how strong he actually is, so he invites him to a duel, which Encrid accepts. After a while of walking, Jack feels that someone cursed him to have to go on patrol in this weather, with Bo agreeing that it's pretty cold. But Encrid does not get why they are so close to him. As they continue their walk through the market, a small hooded figure appears out of the shadows, and suddenly slips towards Encrid. He tries to grab the person, thinking